Good morning, Roll Gang. Welcome on in to another episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. I'm Processor Sky, pleasured to bring you guys another episode of your favorite stoner morning show. So this morning, Wednesday, is the midweek mailbag episode. So it has been a hot minute since I, nudged the Twitter crowd who is live right now. And I got some pretty good questions collected over the last 3 weeks without the midweek mailbag. So I'm super excited to get on into this. Super excited to give those who participated on Twitter a nice shout out here on the Weekday Wake and Bake. I am super excited to have these questions here for you. And yeah, so let's get on into this brand new midweek mailbag episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. I am Processor Sky here with another episode here to blaze up some herb. We got some fine vanilla frosting here to smoke this morning. And I am just so excited to smoke some herb with you, just like we do every single weekday morning here at 8 a.m. Pacific time on Instagram Live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, just getting it all going on and making sure that we smoke with you guys because, I already know that you got it going on. Yeah, Roll Gang, you guys are all the shit. I appreciate you way more than you know for tapping into the episode. And yeah, let's grind up some herb and roll it up just like we do here on the Weekday Wake and Bake and just get going. So, this episodes of the Weekday Wake and Bake are brought to you by this cannabis multi-tool that I'm about to use help me to roll a dime just like I do every single time. We can be really, really good rollers, but there are just some things that we cannot do. For instance, once we break down this herb, it starts to, the trichomes held within the herb. If you've ever broken into some nug and looked at the sparkles within the inside of the nug, that's all the medicine. So whenever you break those down and you break up the nug, you're exposing the trichomes, and at that point, you want to stop. They're in this beautiful textural pile in your grinder. And at that point, you want to let your rolling spoon do the work. You got the straight edge so that you can roll it straight every time. And you got the poker so you can poke it in at the end. Huge shout out, Mercedington. Hope you're using your spoons, my girl. Tapping in on the show on Instagram. Anyways, without further ado, I'm going to roll up a nice joint of this vanilla frosting and get into the first question of this week's midweek mailbag. So, coming in from @FunShowTV without the W. Another great cannabis show on Twitter. Love Fun Show TV. But anyways, Fun Show TV tapping in with the first question of the midweek mailbag says, how do you wake up this early every day? Oh my goodness. Faux Show TV, I know you do at 4:20. I can't even tell you how I wake up this early every day. It is hard to do something every day. And it's a lot of fun, but sometimes I'm cutting it pretty close on the wake-up call. But I guess that's all you can do, right? So, Canna Planet, sky's the limit, hell yeah. Appreciate you tapping in, Canna Planet. Appreciate Matt Learn popping through. Says, yo. Says, I do use the spoon every time now. Hell yeah, Mercedington. I love it. You're probably getting so good at it. I mean, there's not much to it. You just see you got this nice fluffy pile of herb here. You don't want to go in and pinch that. Like you got the spoon, and you can keep the fluffiness of the herb so that whenever you drop it on the paper, you can have aeration in your smoke. That aeration gives you that nice solid draw. But anyway, sorry, I'm back to the mailbag. Fun show TV asks how I wake up early every morning. Honestly, it's just committing yourself to do it. You can really do anything you set your mind to, but it's not going to be easy. But I don't know. This is a really fun venture, It's really resetting. I love to come on here and smoke with you guys every morning, because then it's actually over pretty early. Like, the earlier I wake up early, but the show's over early too, so the rest of the day can kind of be pretty productive. You started off on a good note with a nice smoke. We all wake and bake every weekday anyway, so might as well be consistent with it. Hell yeah, Matt Learn with us. Let's go. Yo, I'm super pumped. Learn ski. And yeah, Mercedington, aeration. Yo, wait till you see how this joint pulls here in a minute. I'll show you guys what I mean. Aeration. Gotta have that draw. Mercedington already knows what I'm talking about. But anyways, the second question of this midweek mailbag coming in from Vigil Scott 21 at Vigil Scott 21 on Twitter, popping in with this question. Asks, I'm not sure if I've been asked this question on the show, but it's one of the elite questions of the cannabis industry. Sativa or indica? And wow, I've wavered time. If you guys want to comment on Instagram, what you like to smoke, sativa or indica? I am actually probably a hybrid person if you made me pick, but sativa and indica come from terpenes. So sativa terpenes would include terpinolene, limonene, all the uplifting fruity terpenes, and indica strains contain myrcene and humulene, all of the calming terpenes. So it's super let's say, I'm not sure what the word would be, but there's so much multiplicity when it comes to the cannabis plant. You can have so many combinations of terpenes that would give you such a murky scale of sativa or indica, trying to make something that's a lot more of a sliding scale, black and white. But I would definitely say I lie somewhere in the middle between sativa and indica. I just simply love terps. So if it's flavorful and it's packed full of the good shit, then I'm probably going to love it. Yo, sativa or indica, though? One of the best questions in the industry. But anyways, so Crypto Kush from Twitter comes in with a pretty good question. Where did you go to school for college? And I haven't seen Crypto Kush on my page before. I'm pretty sure he's new. So I actually went to normal college for a year and a half called Elon University in North Carolina. And then I dropped out and I attended Oaksterdam University. And I am a very, very proud graduate of Oaksterdam University, the first ever cannabis college. I graduated with certificates in horticulture and cannabis back in Oakland, California, 2017, early 2018. It was an amazing time. And a little bit of big news in regards to my old school on the show is Oaksterdam University is actually set to become one of the first ever sponsors of the Weekday Wake and Bake. I am so excited. I wanted to bake this announcement into the middle of the show. And what a good question from Crypto Kush. Oaksterdam University, the first ever cannabis college. We're going to be chatting it up about them a lot. Super excited to start this collab with Oaksterdam University. It was so educational, y'all, going there and learning about growing and about cannabis regulations and business, both on the dispensary side and otherwise. I mean, compliance, growing, and we got to trim. We did bud trimming labs and all types of labs on real cannabis plants. It was really, it was a priceless experience. Yo, thank you. Mercedington says that's incredible. I appreciate you. I think she's talking about the Oaksterdam deal, but yeah, we're definitely going to touch on that a lot here soon. But as always, you know, the original first sponsor of the Weekday Wake and Bake, the Rolling Spoon, helping you to roll dimes like these every single time. Look at this drop. Roll a dime every time with the help of your rolling spoon. The next question here on this midweek mailbag episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake comes in from a good friend of mine, crossing a little bit of paths. So I used to write for a amateur football blog for the Tennessee Titans, my favorite football team. And one of my old buddies was on the Rolling Spoon account and dropped in the comments of my midweek mailbag, said, best roster in the NFL. And a lot of people are going, you know, Bills, Rams, you know, chalk. Fuck it, yo. The Titans have the best roster in the NFL. Heavy veteran Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. They got a nice stacked wide receivers. Bobby Trees. They got a guy named Bobby Trees. Swear. Look him up. Bobby Trees. And, yeah, the king himself, Derrick Henry. The best running back in the league. They're going to win a lot of football games just riding his back. You already know the answer, Will, if you're tapping in. Titans, best roster in the NFL. All right, next question. Coming from Raving Mind 420. Says, this is probably one of my favorite questions in the history of the midweek mailbag. So, major shout out at Raving Mind 420. Top 3 casinos on the Las Vegas Strip. Wow. They didn't just say favorite, they said top 3. I can't even believe it. You know, that's hard work, but luckily I go and collect matchbooks from all of the casinos on the Strip, so I think I'd have a pretty good idea. Number 3, Resorts World. The brand new, it's all fresh and glowing orb inside. It's so expensive and so good looking and bougie. Gotta check out Resorts World. Number 2, the Cosmopolitan. And it's dank. They hit it, you know. There's no signage. You have to go find it. in their casino, and also home to the world's largest chandelier. There's actually a full bar, 2-story bar inside of the chandelier. So pretty cool at the Cosmo. Number 1 though, getting the win, is the win with the best coffee in Vegas, Earth Cafe. Honestly, the best vibes in Vegas. They got it all going on in there. Floral arrangements and hot air balloons. I mean, everything's just so attention to detail. Yo, shout out Raving Mind 420. Kind of let me loose there for a second. Top 3 casinos on the Strip. Gotta be Resorts World, the Cosmo, and the Champion, the Win. Alright, so at Cute Roots says, which is your favorite? At Cute Roots, I appreciate you, my friend, but I have no favoritism. I mean, look at this. Might be the cutest one, the high bud tender spoon with the hand-drawn logo, but oh my goodness, they're just so sexy and chic. Maybe one of these trippy exhale spoons. I don't know. I'm not sure. One of the 420 Showgrow spoons. It says 420 with their logo. How could I pick? So, yo, shout out Cute Roots for the cute question. I appreciate you a lot. Alright, last but certainly not least, I have a really phenomenal question from at RonRon42. Appreciate you tapping in for this midweek mailbag episode. The last question here on this weekday wake and bake. What is your favorite smell? So there's an obvious answer and there's a not so obvious answer. And obviously there's so many different smells of pot, like all the different terpenes and strains. They all smell amazing and individual. But the one smell that stays the same every time and gives me this satisfying punch of motivation is the smell of a brand new can of tennis balls. I don't know if anybody plays any tennis or they ever open the can and gets that waft, that gust of like rubberized air. It just smells so fresh and new and pressurized, and it's my favorite. It's my favorite smell other than pot. It's a little particular, but you know, if you know it, you know. But hey, I appreciate everybody tuning in for another episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. All these amazing people who contributed. I appreciate you guys so much. And I appreciate everybody coming live on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. You guys are all the shit. And I hope you all have an amazing hump day. We are almost to the weekend already, gang. So major shout out to everybody tapping in, and I love you all. I will see you guys tomorrow for a Canon News Thursday episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake, so that we can talk about some current events and some of the happenings this week in the cannabis community, you know, worldwide. So much love to you, Roll Gang. I appreciate every single one of you for tapping in, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, 8 a.m. Pacific time, with a rolling spoon and Processor Sky.